Hey everybody, welcome back. So there's a story with this, as with most things with me. I have done 2 seasons or 2 rounds, I think it's been 2, I think, of Savage Declutter. And that is where I just went through and just ruthlessly cut everything from my collection that I just absolutely was not using, didn't need, didn't like anymore, wasn't for me, whatever. And I tend to do it like around this time of year. And I got to thinking, you know what, like there's not really a whole lot this year that I need to get rid of. After those 2 rounds of Savage Declutter, I was just much more aware of what I was purchasing and not buying into the hype on every single new release, not purchasing things that were just not good for my skin type, my skin tone, my skin texture, just being a lot more aware of what I was purchasing. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still things in my collection that just didn't work out, that I have hair all over my face, that I just didn't return, and so that I'm going to get rid of. But I figured, you know what, it's not really a whole lot. I have one kind of medium-sized bin of things that I'm going to get rid of either things that have gone bad because they're getting old, things that didn't work for my skin, or just like colors that I didn't like that I got as gifts with purchase and stuff like that. So those things I'm going to be either throwing away the old stuff or giving the stuff that can still be used to my friend. But I picked out 10 things, most of which I think that I actually tried during this past year, that just did not work out. And that some of them, I think a couple of them were things that I thought that I really liked. And then looking back on it, I'm like, nah, I don't really like that. So I figured I would bring you 10 things that are leaving my collection and why they're leaving. So there, that's going to be my little declutter for this time around, because that was my goal, was to be more conscious of what I was purchasing. And I feel like I did a pretty decent job of that this year. Next year, I'd like to be even better at it, but some things, you know, you just got to have, and you just hope that they work out. So let's go over these. Maybe let me go kind of in the order that I would apply them, maybe. So the first thing, and I feel like some of these things also I have talked about in videos where I said that I didn't like them or that I was kind of on the fence. So if you're not new here, then, you know, that's probably something that some of these will be like repeats of things you're like, I knew she was going to get rid of that. But regardless, let's get on into it because I just keep rambling and I have a hair appointment soon. So first up is the Revlon Photo Ready Pore Reducing Primer. This was definitely a YouTube made me buy it kind of situation, and it was just terrible. I put this on for the first time in a video, and my makeup just, for multiple reasons, my makeup was terrible that day. But this one, it made me break out, and I feel like it did not reduce my pores at all. So this is going for sure. And also it's like 14 bucks, I think, at the drugstore, and that's kind of pricey. This next one, I'm going to count these as one because they're kind of like a little set, like they go together. But I have the Too Faced Primed and Peachy Cooling Matte Skin Perfecting Primer, and then the Peach Mist Mattifying Setting Spray. So both of these together, I ended up buying these and the Hangover RX Setting Spray and Primer all at the same time because I wanted to see which one would actually be good for me. And since I have oily skin, I totally was like, these are going to be the holy grail, the one, the amazing. No, I hated them. Like this one, I feel like it feels really, really good going on the skin because of the cooling factor, but it did nothing for my skin. It actually made it kind of look weirdly textured. It's kind of also it's like kind of moussey gel kind of thing. Just weird all around. It was not good for me at all. I ended up loving the Hangover RX stuff. That sounded really Hangover RX stuff. And then the Peach Mist, first things first with this. This little thingy, the pump, it doesn't work good. Like it gets clogged or something because of the stuff that's in here. I don't know, but like every time you push it down, I have to pull it back up, push it down, pull it back up. So I did not like that. And this, it didn't, well, I won't say that it didn't mattify. It did mattify for a while, but as it started to allow my, wow, can I talk today? As it started to allow my oils to come through, it just looked bad. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like I've been on this journey for the past like 6 months or so of, even though I have oily skin, my skin just does not like mattifying products lately. It just emphasizes texture. It makes it look so much worse. Like today I'm wearing the L'Oreal Pro Glow foundation, which is crazy. I never would have wore this, and it's turning out to be one that I really, really love. Now it's not full coverage. You know, it allows my scars and then my new blemish to come through, but it plays so much better, you know, with my skin. Next up, I have a foundation that was scarily bad. And if you are a subscriber, you're gonna think I'm talking about the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Stick. And that one was legitimately the worst foundation I've ever tried. But I've mentioned that in so many videos about how bad it is that I'm just, you know I'm getting rid of that. But this one I'm gonna throw in here because I don't think I've ever mentioned this. And it is the Essence Fresh and Fit Awake Makeup Healthy Glow foundation, and I have mine in 20 Fresh Nude. This only came in like 4 shades of beige, of course, which is, you know, that's just how Essence rolls. You know, it is what it is. But, oh, it looked so bad. You guys, like this, even from the very start, as soon as I put it on my skin, I was like, oh, it's going to be one of them days. This just, oh my God, it literally sat on top of my skin. Even pressing it in with a beauty blender and stuff, it just would not blend into my skin. It just sat there like a kind of greasy mask, and it was terrible. I think I might have filmed a video wearing this, and I don't remember which one because it's been quite a while since I used this. But the whole time I was thinking, I just want to wash this off because I know it's going to break me out. And it didn't end up breaking me out, but as soon as I was done filming, I washed my face and never used it again. It was just terrible. This one I've mentioned before. Here is a concealer. It is the Revolution Conceal and Define that everybody loves, that I hate, you know? And I got this because everybody compared it to Tarte Shape Tape, which, I mean, I feel like they only grasped onto that just because Tarte was canceled, and so they needed just something. But I have both. I didn't like the way Shape Tape looked under my eyes, and I didn't like how it looked concealing, you know, spots. So I was like, let me try this because maybe it's a little bit better, because people were saying, even though it was supposedly a dupe, every review that I watched was like, well, it's not quite the same. So I was like, cool, let me try. I hated it. I freaking hate this stuff. It's not for me. It looks terrible. I have a few eyeshadows. Let me save those for the last, since I have 3 of those. So I have a highlighting palette, and this is the Smashbox one. It came in a holiday set last year, and I loved the holiday set. Like the 2 palettes that came in that set, still use them, still love them, favorites. This one, though, I liked at first, and I used it quite a bit earlier this year, but then same thing. Whenever I started noticing that products weren't playing well and they were like emphasizing my texture and stuff, I noticed that these were also emphasizing my texture. So while they are absolutely gorgeous colors, there's Turn It On, Crank It Up, and Blow a Fuse. They just don't play well with my skin anymore, so they're going to go to a new home. I have another setting spray. So 2 setting sprays. Okay, 2 setting sprays, 2 primers. That's not bad. This was also a YouTube made me buy it, And it is the Catrice Prime and Fine Dewy Glow Fixing Spray. I thought I was going to love this, but you guys, like, it has actual, like, kind of like pearlescence swirling in it, which is fine. You can't really see it on your skin, but it didn't make my skin look dewy or glowy at all. This actually, weirdly for me, acted like a mattifying setting spray. It made my face totally matte and therefore emphasized my pores and my texture and everything bad on my face. So I just didn't like it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I would prefer Fix Plus over this, which is what I'm using today. It's decent, but where is it? I've also been using this Glam Glow Glow Setter setting spray. I like this. It's a little bit dewier than the Fix Plus, but not like greasy dewy. So this is pretty good if you're interested in that. As kind of like a glowy spray, I would try that one. And then the last thing before I get to the eyeshadows is a lipstick. Actually, both of the things that I bought from Anastasia in this one order, I'm decluttering, which is hilarious, but I got, when was this even? It might have been like last Black Friday or something, but Anastasia had a sale where it was like you could get a quad, so like a build your own quad kind of thing with 4 shadows, a compact thing, and then add a lipstick, and it was all like 25 bucks. So I was like, cool, or 30 or something like that. So I ended up getting the matte lipstick, like the traditional cream lipstick in Buff. It's a good color. I mean, it's also different than I thought it would be. It's more of like a, almost kind of like dusty rose nude. But you guys, this made my lips look like they were shriveling up and dying. It was like, I expected it to be more like a kind of comfort matte kind of formula, and it was just suck the life out of you like a vampire matte, and I hated it. I wore it in a video. I topped it with a gloss, and that made it look a little bit better, but just the lipstick on its own was so uncomfortable. I cannot. I would never, ever purchase another one of her matte lipsticks, and I really don't like their liquid lipsticks either. The glosses are okay. I kind of like them. I've received some as like gifts with purchase, the small ones. So, you know, I use those. I don't think I would go out of my way though to purchase like a full size gloss though. So moving right along with that is the quad that I ended up purchasing in that same order. And this was one where it was like, even though it was build your own, they kind of said like, oh, here's a few different quads where it's like, purchase the bundle, you know, and these are 4 shades that just go together. So I ended up purchasing this one, and I think they called it like Sapphire or something. And I used this in a use it or lose it video, and I was just super, super underwhelmed. I have a different quad of theirs that I like kind of built my own, and it's kind of purpley shades. I love it. It is amazing. These though, every single shade, with the exception of this light blue one, just performed like crap. So I have Day Rate, Rich Brown, Icy, and Star Cobalt. These 3, they didn't do anything. I did not like them. The payoff was no good with this one especially. And these 2 were just kind of, they blended away into nothing. I did like this icy blue one, but it's like, when am I ever going to use that? You know, I used it on the inner corner and it looked okay, but it's just one of those things, you know, it just didn't work out for me. It just didn't. Whatever. Next up is a ridiculously priced drugstore eyeshadow. I also showed this in a video, and I was unimpressed. It is the L'Oreal Havana by Camila Cabello eyeshadow, and this one is in Love. It is a gorgeous kind of like chrome looking pink color, but it does not have great color payoff. And you really, really have to like wet your brush and build it and build it and build it to even get anything. And it's like, I have other shades that are similar to this that are just boom, right off the bat, look amazing. And for $10 freaking, I am annoyed that I like paid part of her phone bill by buying this because it was just so ridiculous. My boo bitches. The last thing that I have is actually what I got in my very first BoxyCharm. And I said, whenever I got it, I was like, yeah, you know, I would use this palette, you know, but the longer I've kept it, the more I look at it and I'm just like, I have these shades in other palettes and I feel like my friend would get a lot more use out of it than me. So I'm going to give it to her. So it is the Pretty Vulgar Nightingale eyeshadow palette. There it is. Cute colors, totally up my alley. I love the cool tones, you know, but my friend has daughters in like dance recital thingies, and I feel like, you know, she could kind of do like some eyeshadow looks on them with this. So it's gonna go. I mean, whenever I played around with it a little bit, the shades performed nicely and stuff. It's just very basic compared to my whole collection. I already have those shades. So there you go. That is 10-ish, because I kind of cheated a little bit with those two, but we'll just call it 10. 10 items that are leaving my collection. I don't want to see them anymore. I've gotten all that I can from them. And that's just that. They're going to go to a new home or go in the garbage. And yeah, I think that that's it. And I honestly hope that next time that I need to declutter a little bit, it's similar to this, where there's just a few items that, you know, I'm just going to say these are the ones that are going. Because looking back on my Savage Declutters, it was just so crazy how much excess stuff that I had. And I feel like as as a YouTuber, you feel kind of like the pressure to purchase everything new that comes out and, you know, like get reviews up quickly. And it's like, I was like that whenever I first started. And the longer I've done this, I'm coming up on like 4 years in a few months. I'm kind of over being that way because it's not, I mean, I feel like buying things simply just to put out a review and then returning them or whatever, which I know is what a lot of people do, that's just not how I would like to gain success or anything. So I'm just going to keep doing me. I'm going to keep trucking along, both in my day job and in this hobby that I have. And that's that, you know. Whatever will be. But I don't want to continue buying things just for the sake of buying it. Just hoping that I'll get some views on a video or something. So, you know, this took a turn. This took a weird turn. But that's it. I'm going to go. I hope that you guys have a great week, and I will catch you next time. Bye.